started my football career as a 12-year-old at East Geelong Football Club, local league. Played 3 years under 15, then progressed through and played the next 3 years under 18 at East Geelong. In 1960 I moved across and played a year at Geelong under 19s. After that went back to East Geelong and played senior football in 62 and 63. And just through circumstances I came and trained over at West Geelong and stayed here. Played all my football career here, 64 to 71. Success in 64, we won the Division 2 Premiership. Moved up to Division 1, Bftp, and that was a really, really tough move. We weren't good enough for that, and unfortunately relegated that year, and moved back to Division 2. And in 66, we were beaten by Prahran in the grand final, we were runners-up. 67, we were runners-up to Oakley in Division 2. But in 68, third time lucky, we beat Williamstown in the grand final and moved up to Division 1 again. And we played there for 3 years until we were relegated in 1971. And seeing that come back to Division 2 again, Billy Goggin became the coach. I was 30. I thought I'd had my time here, and I just retired from football. I didn't play any more football after that. In my junior football at East Geelong, I was predominantly a defender, maybe back pocket. Played probably Geelong, I was half-back flank in the under 19 side. When I went back and played senior football at East Geelong, in those days I was about 5'8". I was 5'8", and there weren't many guys taller than that, so I played a lot of positions at East Geelong in those 2 years. When I came over to West, I was mainly a rover or back pocket player. So I played most of my football in those two positions, where I sort of matched up evenly with my opponents. I think I was a hard-at-it footballer, see ball, get ball, play for the team, probably do things at times you shouldn't do, but yeah, you play for the club, you play for the jumper. In 1964, we didn't start very well. The seniors lost the first 4 games. Actually, I think the first or second game I played there, I was an emergency in the reserves, and got a game. I come over to go up to Melbourne on the bus, and one of the players who got dropped from the seniors decided not to play, and I was put in as a reserve in the reserves, and I got on the ground and did all right. And about 2 weeks after that, I was on the bench for the seniors. And just so happened, unfortunately, that day for Dicky Perry, it was the day here at West Geelong where he had a serious knee injury. And he was a rover on baller and a brilliant player. And he didn't play football after that, and that made an opening in the side for someone of my size and ability, I suppose. Not that I was anywhere near his ability, but after that, I was in the side. We started winning, and history now. We won 11 of the last 14 games and come up against Sunshine in the grand final. We were underdogs, but we knocked them off in the grand final. We played Division 1 the next year. We weren't up to the mark. We weren't big enough, strong enough, or fast enough. As much as Eric Nichols, we had meetings of how we were going to compete with these sides and play the game. We just couldn't change our game style to compete. And we got relegated then back to Division 2 in 66. And in 66 we made finals, got to the grand final. We played Prahran in the grand final. But unfortunately, it was a windy day at the Prahran. The game was played at Prahran, which I think is a big advantage to them. And it was windy. We kicked with the wind. We kicked about 2-9 in the first quarter. And in those days, the way football was played, if you didn't take advantage of the wind, you were just about dead. And unfortunately we kicked about 5-15 for the day and they beat us quite comfortably. And in that game, my recollection is that Kevin Sheedy, as an 18-year-old, played in the centre for Paran. His ruckman was Graham McMahon, playing with Paran, and he was the president of Essendon many years after that, I'm sure. But after then, Kevin went and moved across to Richmond and played his football there. But we persevered in 67, made finals again. Played Oakley in the grand final. And didn't come up with mark again, they beat us in the grand final. Next year, in 1968, we played again, made finals, finished about second or third. Williamstown were a street ahead of the other three finals. They beat us 3 times during the year, home and away. Second semi-final they beat us. Played grand final. We played probably one of the best games we played. Kicked 20-odd goals and we beat them in the grand final, Williamstown, which was very upsetting for them because they were really favourites for the game. And after that we played 3 years senior footy. Well, our side was more adaptable to play Division 1 then than what we were earlier. And we stuck it out for 3 years under Ron Tenable in the first year, and then Ian Bryant coached us for a couple of years before we got relegated again in 71. Came back and Division 2 in 72. Played under 4 coaches. Eric Nichols was a coach in 64. And Brian Brushfield took over in 67. Ron Tenable 69. And Ian Bryant from Footscray coached in 70-71. Eric was a good player. Eric could really play. Good team player. Not big for the positions he played, but certainly was really good player. Brian the same, centre forward. Brian took a lot of punishment. These coaches seem to be the target. The better players in your club are the target of the opposition. And it's like Eric, they took a bit of pounding. They stuck at it, never shirked an issue. Ronnie Tenable was a ruckman, tough, hard, gave no quarter, and for his size did very well. And Ian Bryant, well, he was a nuggety, tough back pocket from Footscray. There again, I always look back and think, gee, those guys, they were targets of the opposition. They just took delight in knocking him around a bit, but they took it all. They were really good players. West were lucky to have the players they had as coaches, or the coaches, and they really gave their all for the club while they were here.
You've given your heart to get here, and your soul to get it right. You can take 'em boots and all, but it's sure gonna take a fight. When you spend all week getting to your peak, you're gonna have your say. You bet. On Sunday, it's the Bftp. It's Sunday, you're gonna make your play for the Bftp. Today you're gonna fly. It's Sunday for the Bftp. It's Sunday.